Loki, the god of deceit, had a great amount of wickedness inside him, and he seemed unable to contain such malevolence. Therefore, he planned to kill Balder, the most beloved of the gods. The gods sent Hermodr, the messenger of the gods, to the realm of Hel, the world of the dead. The goal was to have his brother Balder back in the realm of Asgard. Hermodr received positive news that the goddess Hel wanted to return Balder back to the realm of the Aesir gods, but only if all beings mourned the god's death and wished for Balder's return. The gods were pleased with that news, as Balder was loved by all. All beings were summoned to confirm their desire to have the beloved god back. Everyone confirmed their desire to see Balder again. But the gods learned that a giantess living in the mountains did not want the god's return. Because of her, Balder could not return, making all the gods sad. But it wasn't long before the gods discovered that the heartless giantess was Loki in disguise. Loki had already committed every mischief and then some, but the most recent exceeded the limits of the gods' patience. The Asgardians reached a consensus. Loki should be punished. Loki fled from the wrath of the gods and hid in the mountains, near a well where salmon swam. Loki took the form of a salmon and mixed with the fish, so as not to be found by the gods. Odin, the father of all, was able to see the whole world from his throne. He quickly discovered Loki's hiding place. The trickster god knew that the gods would eventually find his hiding place, so he thought about how they would try to capture him. A bait and hook would be to underestimate the intelligence of the gods. Loki pondered and discovered that a combination of strings could form a mesh capable of catching fish. Loki created this instrument and the first ever fishing net. After understanding how it worked, he designed strategies to escape from the nets. Seeing that the gods were approaching, Loki threw the net into the fire and jumped back into the pit. The gods saw Loki jump into the river, but they didn't know how to capture him. Kvasir found the traces of the net, which did not burn completely, and understood the purpose of Loki's invention. The gods created more nets, using them to try to capture the trickster. Loki tried to escape in every way from the numerous nets thrown by the gods. Sometimes he would jump out of the water. Thor thought that if a bear could catch some salmon on the fly, so could he. When Loki, in the form of a fish, jumped up once more, Thor was ready to grab him. Loki was snatched by Thor and dragged by the gods to a cave, where he would receive his deserved punishment. He was bound and imprisoned by the viscera and sinews of his own son. The gods wished to kill the god because of what he had done to Balder, but Loki had made a blood pact with Odin. Despite their different origins, they were like brothers. Odin could not allow the extermination of Loki. But simple imprisonment was too mild a punishment for the traitor. So Skadi took a snake with a toxic saliva and placed it in a stalactite over Loki's head. When the snake salivated, its venom fell on the traitor, burning his skin and causing him enormous pain. Loki had a wife named Sigyn, who stayed by her husband's side while he endured his punishment. The faithful Sigyn tried to ease Loki's suffering by collecting in a bowl the poison that fell from the snake's mouth. As time passed, the bowl would fill and Sigyn would go out to empty it. When this happened, the poison would fall back on Loki's skin, and he would cry out in pain. The devoted wife returned as quickly as possible to her post, where she tried to ease her husband's suffering. Each drop of poison that fell on Loki only increased his desire for revenge. The god vowed to repay the gods of Asgard for all the suffering imposed upon him. At their reunion, during Ragnarok.